Hey there, my fellow shepherds, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, episode 125, Sheep Migration. Alright, so let's get the stairs on the other side. The stairs on the other side obviously will terminate straight into the bloomery, but that will be fine, because then once the bloomers are done, we can move them. And then the last part of this will be the railing. So next project, I'll put the pole up, because we're pretty close on finishing this one up. There's other base maintenance tasks that I think are pretty reasonable for us to undertake, so I'm going to leave that in as a pole option. And then it's time to demo the old stairs, which will make the base down here look a little bit more open, I think. Or at least feel a little bit more open. And then we could connect the balconies too. And Brady Bill, thank you for the resub. I'm going to see how that looks from below. Oh yeah, that's fine. No issue at all. Really? Why doesn't it let me? Okay, game, that's not what I meant. Oh, it's because it's a slab. Yeah. Easy to fix. Just put a full block there. Alright, there we go. Tiny little detail that I'll never ever notice again, but now there isn't like a weird gap. And the real benefit is now we have a wraparound balcony. Okay, there are some gaps there that I can fill in with these upside down slab blocks. Like that. I no longer really like that pillar there anymore. I do have a weird sort of patchwork ceiling, but like apart from that, I do like the looks of everything as a result. So flowering in about 6 days. Neat. The other thing I didn't do is railings. I think I'm going to leave it as is and not do the railings, as I don't think I'm going to fall off of it enough to warrant it. I don't need it OSHA compliant, in other words. Okay. So it looks to me like you all are voting for me to build a coop and domesticate some chickens. Checking in my use here. So I do have a follow-up question about that. What am I using the chickens for? And eggs or breeding. Either I can get roosters and hens, or just hens. And the reason why I won't need to ask is that if I'm setting it up for eggs, I won't really care too much about the proximity to the base, because the way it works, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the way it works is that chickens will lay eggs, but for them to become fertilized and to hatch, it has to be some distance away from the player, because otherwise the player disturbs the chickadee process to get chicken chicks. So if you want chicks to turn into chickens and roosters, you want a situation where the coop is a decent distance away from the player, so that you're not scaring the chicks or the chickens and the hens, or the hens and the roosters. But if you just want eggs unfertilized, one, you don't want roosters at all, because roosters are going to fertilize the eggs, and, well, if you just want eggs for food, obviously roosters aren't going to help you with that. And then two, the location matters a lot less because of it doesn't matter if you scare the hens or not. So that's the purpose of that poll. All right, so there's some questions here. So chickens. A hen eats from a small trough. So we need to feed things to the hen. We need to bait them into traps with food that they eat regularly. The rye is ready to harvest, but I'm waiting for all the crops to be ready so that I can crop rotate and have them all on the same rotational schedule. So the dry grass is not suitable for chickens, so I'm going to need to use some grain. I don't really have a lot of grain, so that's going to be something I'm going to have to rummage around for. Unless, of course, I can find like wild grain or something. Oops. And before I go too far, I also want to check in on the wild cranberries. So ripening in about a week. Okay. Yeah, I could harvest the rye for the grain, which is what I'll probably end up doing, and then just leave it feral, or fallow rather, until next harvest. So a question about the location of so it looks like we're doing it for the eggs. Where should the coop be? As half of the sheep barn, expanding the sheep barn, or somewhere else? So originally I had thought that back here we would have sheep on one half and chickens on the other. I would want to give them more space. So if we did do that, I would have the sheep barn come out a little bit with its own fence, and same with the chickens to give them a little bit more room. It will make milking the sheep a little bit more annoying, because as the sheep pen is deep, they will have the opportunity to hide from me through fencing, but like that's fine. Now that they're becoming domesticated, they will try to harm me less. Or alternatively, I could build the sheep, the chicken coop, like opposite where my leather tanning is. Oh, I didn't mean to grab that torch. So we have a leather tanning area here, obviously, with the bedroom, and there's nothing this way. So I could do a chicken coop underneath the other farm, mimicking this half of the base. So I think I'm going to revise this poll. And while you vote on that, I am going to go trap some roosters or some chickens. There was another reason to get the rye earlier. It's because it's warming up and a lot of this rye yield was stunted due to heat. Granted, I still got 3, almost 4 stacks of it. So, I mean, I don't feel badly, but we'll leave that fallow because that is eventually going to become K-crop. We'll move the, we'll harvest the flax and like move it over there or something. Oh, wow. Force of habit. I just tried to go downstairs the wrong way. Alright, so there's some rye grain. So in order to trap these chickens, let's get some reed chests. So the reed chests can be turned into reed basket traps with a stick, allowing us to trap chickens. I don't have a ton of reeds. I do think that the reed chests now can be made of cattails or thule. Is that right? Maybe not. Oh, yeah. Oh, papyrus, not thule. I could probably do with just 2 basket traps, but I might want more. The other thing is I'm going to want the physical location set up early because once the chickens are in the baskets, they have about something like 18 hours to live until they die. So it is a slightly time-sensitive thing to do. So I don't necessarily want to jump the gun and start trapping them early because if I don't have anywhere to put them, I could always put them with the sheep, but then I have to re-trap them, which is annoying. So I want a place to put them first. And you guys want it opposite the leather tannery. Got it. So we're going to landfill this and put a chicken coop back here. There was actually one other alternative, which I want to poll on. Should I move the sheep under the opposite the tannery and put the chickens behind the apiary? Essentially, should I just switch spots by putting the sheep here and then the chickens back there? Because this is already kind of small, which might be better suited for chickens. And this has the potential to be larger, which might be better suited for sheep. But, I could go either way. Hence the polling. I know, a lot of voting, but c'est la vie. And either way, I'm going to need to do some landfilling, so let's get that started. So I'm not exactly sure what it's going to look like. It really depends on how you guys vote, which is why I'm just lowering or reducing the depth of the water. But yeah, it looks like you guys want me to move the sheep. All right. It's a little tricky, but like not too bad. The easiest way is for me to move the troughs and have them just like walk over and then make them stuck by removing their access to the old spot. And given all the flax grain well, no, it's rye grain. I don't necessarily want to waste my rye grain, which is better for my consumption. I would rather burn the flax grain. So maybe I'll scythe up some grass. So for now, I'll just make this dirt, and then we'll figure out exactly what it will look like once it's landfilled. Meaning that I'm like adding dirt to remove dirt soon, but you know, whatever. So I'll probably want to continue the fence and have it fenced off using the roof above me to prevent anything from getting in, but allowing light in. At some point, I'm also probably going to want to make some additional lanterns because this will be an unilluminated part of the base, which will be a drifter vector. I don't want drifters spawning in and around the base because I've added an addition without illuminating it. It also might make sense to fill cobblestone in the roof. Just an aesthetic thing. Because it's kind of ugly without. Might be enough. If you're wondering how I did that, I held control, which is like a hotkey for dividing the material between all the slots you drag it over. So what if the perimeter of our barn is the same perimeter of the dirt path above it? And then what I could do is I could try to get it so that the sheep are on the inside, which would make it easier for me to potentially milk them, meaning that this all will be path blocks around it, so that they are essentially... I will have much easier access to all of them that way. I like that as a concept. So that way they have a little bit more room to themselves, but they're contained within the area that you see here. So I'll need to make a few more cobblestone fences to double up the height. Oops. So that there isn't a risk of wild animals like wolves or bears getting in. Because nothing can... This is only a half block height. Nothing can get through a half block height. But I like that idea. So I'm going to go with that. And then once the sheep are moved, I can rework the way the chicken coop is laid out. And I think what I'm going to do is the inner fence will be wood. The fence that keeps the sheep inside. because wood is a more wood has increased visibility, and I already have a lot of wood fencing, so might as well use it up. Kind of messed up the drag there, but that's fine. There we go. And then I needed more path blocks. Oh. Oh, I don't have any... Oh, no, I have more low soil. There we go. So this will allow easier access. The external path around will just make milking a lot easier, I think. And I'll have a double gate here if and when I need to go inside. And then what I'll need is a temporary fenced pathway for them to walk to the new section. Alternatively, I could like punch them and force them that way, but I'd rather have them walk on their own accord. So let's give them a valid path to get to the new area. And in order to sort of usher them in here, all that I really need to do is to put a food trough over, because they'll move on their own. And for now, just because this is such a dark void, I'll stick the bedroom lantern over there. 1 second. Okay. Operation Move the Sheep. Don't mind me. Oh, you know what I just realized? I never got around to adding a permanent water source. A permanent water source for the kitchen. All right, come and eat. I'll get a little bit more grass. Make sure to drag them over, but that should work without me having to like physically harm them. So now all I have to do is demo the fence here, and they'll be able to work their way over here. And then put the gate, for now, here, the temporary gate. And they should be able to go over. Greenhouse is now floating. Yeah, I guess it is. I'll add quarters to it. Could do it like that. Now it's a post. Oh, I hear the pulverizer going. So that's a pretty good indicator that wind is back and pulverizer works. I'll pulverize a little bit of quartz just to make sure that it works the way we intend. But I imagine that would be the case. All right. If you build it, they will come. That is what we're attempting to do here. Quick check on the pulverizer. Let's crush some quartz. Quartz in. Huh. Where did that quartz go? Oh, it's still in my inventory. Wow. Yeah, okay. And it's pulverizing. And quartz here. Okay, yep, pulverizer is still plenty functional. Except for, I should not have broken it in that way, because that breaks a angled gear. Eventually, I can spring for, I can spring for clutches and transmissions. But yeah, alright. So the wooden axle, to turn that off, I just busted out. In fact, I'll do that for the Quarren too. Mostly because I just don't like the constant noise of... Like, I don't mind the squeaky wheels of the windmill. It's not as intrusive, but a lot of the other sounds, having to listen to it regularly, like a helve hammer going thunk, thunk, thunk. It's like, oh, enough, enough. The sublimers are all set. Good. Move those out of the way. And replace those with path blocks. Like I said I would do. Sounds like we have drifters nearby. And then probably move the dummy and the blister steel to a different spot as well. Which is pretty easy to do. No, apparently dummies... Oh, because it was wearing stuff. Come on, armor stand. How can I remove you? Just punch you a bunch? What is even going on here? Right click? This armor stand's weird. Like, I can't interact with it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Armor stand. What are you even, you're like moving on your own. Does anyone have insight as to what the hell is going on? Because I'm at a loss. Shift click with empty hand. Alright, thank you. I don't know why it was like sentient and walking around. That was pretty trippy. It's like, hey, you try to punch me, I'm out of here. My union protects me from this kind of abuse. Armor stand union. Alright. I might need to... Well, it's nighttime, so I think the sheep just aren't moving because they're sleeping, I'd imagine. So I'll also go to sleep. Although it's 3 in the morning, so I kind of like lost that opportunity a bit. But I really needed to move over so that I can go to the next phase and actually build the coop. I could punch them. I just don't feel right about punching my own animals at this point. Especially given that, like, historically, I have punched one to death. Which was not a favorable result of being a good shepherd. And if you were wondering, yeah, I'm checking on the cheese. Cheese ain't moved yet. Oh yeah, there you go. drunkenly. All right, let's scythe up some additional grass so that one sheep can't just like eat everything and then disincentivize the others to move. Where's the rift? That's weird. I don't actually see where the rift is. Just a drifter messing with me with no clear, obvious spawner. Vintage Story Seraphs are like college students. When they stay up too late, you might as well just stay awake for the morning. What is interesting, right? Like, there is truly not much other than, like, forcing the passage of time. There's really no advantage to sleeping unless you're wounded. Like, you will recover, of course. Well, actually, that's not even exactly true. If you waited the same time sleeping as you did not sleeping, like, sleeping doesn't make you heal faster, it just moves time faster. So, like, functionally speaking, Seraphs don't need to sleep. There's no benefit to them other than to pass time quicker. Which, you know, is interesting as a game mechanic. And if anything, if you're short on food, all it's doing is making you hungry sooner. So if you want to fulfill your nutrition deficits, maybe it is helpful, but generally speaking, sleeping is not helpful unless you like daylight. Which, I do like daylight. But in a lot of other games, like, sleeping is actually a useful mechanic for when you're, like, tired or whatever. But not here. You don't get tired. Oh, come on. All right, they're moving now. All right, that's one. If I have to slap them around a little bit, I will. Now that I have the food for them. They look stuck? No, they're not stuck. They're lackadaisical. They're lazy. Come on, run away from me. You knocked me over the fence? That's hilarious. I should get those gates, so I can deploy the gates for when I got them captured. I have oak gates, and they're not going to match. So, I will make pine gates. Alright, it's 2. It's too bad there isn't like a rope. Alright, so this is the one that I want to be careful with, because this is the pregnant Gen 1. Oh my god, come on. I could also, like, have a bunch of fences to build it into a corner. No, there we go. Oh, I'm a bad rancher. All right, maybe I'll do that. I will... Oh, I already have fences. I'll limit its zoning like I'm playing... there was a old game that did that. Can you move? I don't want to keep punching you because, like, I'm worried about you being injured. I will punch you one more time. I mean, you can't be that dainty. Yep. Get pissed. No. No. Yeah, get pissed. Oh, come on. Ha! All right. So we got them moved. Easier said than done. Now we can rework this back section to be better suited for chickens. But I like it. I like our little pen. I think it makes really good use of the space, personally. I can hear like a rooster on the horizon. It's kind of funny. So, if we were to rework this area, I probably don't need the space to jut out. I can have it just... I can fix it so it's back to being even and symmetrical like I had it before. Chickens obviously take up a lot less space, and it really is an advantage to have a giant area for them. And then we want egg boxes for them. And then once I have the egg boxes, the small troughs, we'll move them in. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, which originally streamed live on Twitch March 21st. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphs.